Hello Beaders, welcome to Beachside Bead Boutique. My name's Jerry. I've got Didi's Deluxe Bead Box here and cannot wait to see what treasures are inside. We're going to open it together, explore all the gorgeous beads, and then design something completely inspired by the moment. Grab your coffee and let's get beading. Now I love Didi's Deluxe Bead Box because it always has high quality gemstones and check glass beads. I mean, it's always a beautiful collection. It's never disappointing, never. So it is a very nice collection. It's always a beautiful theme. And if you are not familiar with Didi's Deluxe Bead Box, I will link the website in the description. It is a first come, first serve box. So there is no subscription to it. And so it comes available on the 12th of every month. And like I said, it's first come, first serve. And it does sell out quite quickly. Okay, well, without further ado, let's go ahead and open Didi's Deluxe Bead Box. This is for the month of December. And of course, I'm very, very excited. Okay, so this is called Champagne Gala. Step into the glow of the season with Champagne Gala, a blend inspired by sparkling celebrations, velvet gowns, and the warm radiance of holiday lights. This palette brings together rich reds, soft cream, and effervescent champagne tones, a trio that feels like a luxurious toast to everything joyful, elegant, and new. Ooh, that's exciting. Oh wow. Wow. I mean, oh wow. Wow is all I can say. This is stunning. Stunning. Oh wow. I am just blown away by the gorgeousness of this. Okay, so let's go ahead and reveal the items. Okay, you guys, this box is truly gala worthy. I mean, it is truly luxe. Okay, first we have the Champagne Gala inspired check glass strand. Look at how gorgeous this is. I mean, we got this beautiful rich gold with this beautiful red. I mean, look at these really pretty leaf pattern beads here. And then we got this beautiful red and gold check flower. I mean, this whole thing is truly gorgeous. So pretty. Next, we have 10 by 8 millimeter pomegranate red barrel beads. Pomegranate red. I mean, look at how gorgeous of a red this is. Super pretty. And there's the hole. So it's a nice size hole. And it's a nice size strand. Just such a very, very deep but bold red. So beautiful. Next we have 8 millimeter frosted champagne table cut glass beads. This is a 6-inch strand. And look at how gorgeous these beads are. I mean, that is champagne at its finest. Super pretty, super sparkly. And look at how pretty this looks together. Super gorgeous, right? So pretty. Next we have 6 millimeter wine and cream with gold drizzle drawbench beads. So again, look at how pretty. And we got the wine. We got the gold swirl. I mean, it's so pretty. These are 6-inch beads, or I'm sorry, 6mm beads. And this is a 10-inch strand, so it is nice and long. But look at how pretty this looks. I mean, it is very holiday inspired, but very rich and luxe. And like I said, gala worthy. It is beautiful. I mean, I definitely picture a beautiful red velvet gown and a beautiful, stunning woman coming down with, you know, some beautiful jewelry that would just, you know, complement her beautiful dress. It is so luxe and so beautiful. Next, we have 4mm ivory cream glass pearls. So a nice little dainty pearl, but I mean, it's a pearl. So of course, you know, it's beautiful and is very fitting with this collection, because you can't have a luxe gala collection without a beautiful strand of off-white creamy pearls. Next, we have an 8x6mm raspberry red silver luster crystal rondelle. And look at the beauty of these. I mean, that is super gorgeous. I mean, you guys know I love the sparkle, and look at how nice and long this strand is. So you definitely have plenty to work with. Super gorgeous. I love this red wine color. It is so holiday inspired, isn't it? So pretty. All these together, just gorgeous. Next, we have 8mm champagne hexagon cut crystals. And again, so much sparkle for our Champagne Gala. I mean, just beautiful sparkle. I mean, this right here is just a beautiful, you know, champagne toast, just popping with, you know, you could just feel the effervescence of the champagne, right? It is beautiful. Next we have 4mm crimson red crystal bicone. Again, a beautiful sparkle. And I mean, it's red, and you see the bluish tones, you see gold, just so much sparkle, and so beautiful with this whole set. Super gorgeous. Next we have 15 grams, 5x3x5mm red mix check tile beads. So we have a little pack with these really beautiful red tile beads. Take some of these out and look at the color in here. We have different color variations. So we have this really deep wine burgundy red, and then more of a bright red, but so pretty. And these are check glass. Let me get that out of my finger here. There we go. Beautiful colors. Beautiful. So elegant. Next we have 6 pieces, 9x6mm matte gold check teardrops. So we have another little bag, 6 gold check teardrops. And very pretty. So see that the hole is up at the top here. It's very pretty, very metallic. Love this. Next we have 2 pieces, 30 by 14 millimeter, 18 karat gold plated brass chandelier components. Nickel free. So look at these little components. I mean, it's like a 3-dimensional. See, it has like a little pocket inside there. But so pretty. And look at that pretty design on it. So very pretty. And it has little holes down here, your little loops, so you can hang, you know, little beads. It's a little chandelier. So of course, we could easily make a pair of earrings with those. I mean, these are just really, really pretty. And then we have 1 piece 30 millimeter, 14 karat gold plated brass zircon curved slider. So we have this. And I'm not sure what I would do with that, but I can figure it out. This is really, really pretty with our little zircon right here. Very nice. We have one last thing. 1 set gold plated brass cubic zirconia pave starred toggle clasp. And look at how pretty this is. Yeah, see, we have the little pave little diamond cuts in there. So that is super pretty. And then same thing in the toggle right there. We have the little diamonds. Very pretty. I mean, it's definitely Luxe and Champagne Gala-like. Okay, guys, well, here is the Didi's Deluxe Bead Box for the month of December, Champagne Gala. And it is definitely a Champagne Gala. It is definitely over-the-top gorgeous, beautiful, beautiful wine, red, crimson, champagne, bubbly. I mean, all the things that you look for when you go to a gala, what you look for the holidays. Very luxe and very inspiring. Okay, and we are going to create something. So I'm going to get this all cleaned up and I will be right back. Okay, beaders, so we are going to make a memory wire bracelet. But this is not just going to be any kind of memory wire bracelet. This is going to be bold, beautiful red, gold champagne, bubbly, gala-worthy, over-the-top, 4 wraps memory wire bracelet. I mean, it is going to be gorgeous, just like these gorgeous beads. So first we need to cut our memory wire. And I'm starting with this memory wire, and I want it to be a little bit more than what I want. So I want it to be 4 full wraps around my wrist, but I have this cut. It's probably about, what, 6 wraps here. And I'm going to leave it like this because I'm going to string my beads first, and then when I get to the point of how I want it to look, then I'll cut it. So I think that'll just make it easier. So that's how I'm going to do that. But I already have this piece cut. And like I said, this is pretty much what I'm going to use right here. So I'm going to start with this. But I will show you how I cut and this one has gotten all twisted, which, you know, we know that memory wire will do that. So basically what you want to do with memory wire, so you find your end, which, here it is. Here's my end. And this gets twisted so easily. So be very careful. Okay, so here is my end. Now what you want to do is, say if you want to coil it a couple times. So we'll say here. Okay, so just say if you want 3 wraps. Okay, so then where this starts, so your end starts here, you want to cut it to be slightly over at the end. So it's going to start here, but it's going to end here. And you want to do that because you're going to coil the ends. So then hopefully, you know, potentially they should pretty much line up when you're done. So that's why I'm not cutting mine yet, because I just want to wait and see how it lays on my arm. And then, like I said, then I'll go ahead and cut it when it matches up nicely. Okay, and then you do want to use memory wire cutters. I do not suggest that you use your flush cutters because that will potentially damage them, I mean, over time. So if you keep using flush cutters to cut your memory wire, then yes, it will damage your flush cutters. So I don't suggest that. So I have a nice pair of memory wire cutters, and you're just going to cut your piece nice and easy. See how easy that is? And I got these from Amazon, and I will link that in my description box. But see, it cuts it very simple, so easy and clean, and no damage to my cutters. Okay, so the items that you're going to need, I'm going to use the pomegranate red barrel beads. I'm going to use the 8mm frosted champagne table cut glass beads. I'm going to use my 4mm ivory cream glass pearls. I'm going to use the 8mm champagne hexagon cut crystals. No, I'm sorry. These are the 8x6mm raspberry red silver luster crystal. And then these are my 8mm champagne hexagon cut crystal. And then these are the 4mm crimson red crystal bicone. So those are the beads that I'm going to use, along with the gold teardrop beads, and these will be for the end to add a little charm. And then also I'm going to use these cut check glass beads. And then I also have some jump rings, and I'm going to use gold. And of course I have bent nose pliers, my memory wire cutters, and round nose pliers. And then also I have these little gold pearls, and I'll probably use the smallest one here or this size. I'm not sure which. So we're going to go ahead and get started. And before we add any beads, we need to create a loop at one end. So I'm going to use my round nose pliers and just curl the wire inward until it forms a little loop. I'm going to take it right to about the middle of my pliers, and I'm going to hold the wire with my thumb as I turn the round nose pliers, and that's just to help guide it, because this is, like I said, a strong wire. And I'm just going to keep doing that until it forms my loop. And if it gets crooked, you could straighten it out. And then I'm going to stick this inside my little, I have a little rivet in my round nose pliers, so I'm just going to stick that loop in there just to smush it down and finish my loop. Okay, so that looks pretty good. It's a little small, but that's okay. You can make it bigger if you want to. Like I said, we are going to add a charm or two, a little dangle right there. And then this loop will keep our beads from sliding off, and it also will be a place to put charms later if we want to. Okay, so for my first wrap, the Deep Crimson Luxe. So I'm going to start with a couple of my little gold beads here. I'm going to put about 5 of these. And then I'm just going to go ahead and coil this down to the end, to the loop that we formed. Okay. Okay, now I'm going to add some of my crimson red bicones. I'm going to go ahead and add 2 of the bigger spacers, so this is the next size. So this one here, if you wanted to use these, just to let you know, I'm going to use 2 of these. Then I'm going to use 3 of these cut check glass beads. So now I'm just going to continue the same pattern for my first wrap. So I'm going to do 5 of the small gold, 5 of the crimson bicone crystal, 2 of the medium gold, and then 3 of the cut check glass. So I'm going to continue that for my first wrap, repeating the same pattern. And then also I did forget to tell you to check your work as you go, to make sure that your patterns are lining up how you want it to, that you have the amount of beads, you know, if you're doing a pattern. And that's because I did just put 6 of those small gold beads instead of 5. It was supposed to be 5, and I had 6, and I noticed that after I had put the other beads on, so then I had to go back and take off, you know, from where I messed up and take off that whole part. So just saying to check it as you go, so then you won't have to go back and, you know, take beads off because it's not right. I mean, if there was an extra bead, it's not that big of a deal. But since I'm doing this pattern, I did go ahead and take off that one extra bead. But like I said, I had to take off all the other beads that I had put on after it. So just be cautious and mindful and check your work as you go before you get too far along and then realize it's, you know, off, and then you have to take off a good bit. So just a suggestion for you. Okay, so it's looking good. Very pretty. So this is basically our first wrap. I am going to go ahead and do one more round of the same pattern. That's 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 5 of my bicone crystals. And then 2 of my bigger gold. And 1 rolled away. And 3 of my glass cut. Okay, so this is my first layer. Super luxurious. Okay, for the second wrap, this is going to be the champagne sparkle. So we're going to add 2 of the gold spacers. So these are the little bit bigger ones. And then we're going to add 3 of the champagne sparkle faceted crystals, and then 2 of the champagne table cut glass beads. Okay, and then we're just going to repeat that pattern. So 3 gold, 3 champagne sparkle, 3 table cut glass beads, and then repeat. And just keep repeating that until this wrap is complete. And this is going to bring that Champagne Gala vibe with all these beautiful champagne and gold color beads. Did I say 2 gold? 3 gold. 3 gold, 3 crystals, 3 gold, 2 table cut. That's the pattern. That's what I'm sticking to. And it's also good to push your beads down from time to time to make sure that everything is looking how you want it to look. And then 2, oops, and then 2 of these. 2 and then 3. Gorgeous. I'm going to put a bead stopper on just so I can kind of wrap it around my wrist to see how this lays. And it's so pretty. Wow. Okay, and I'm going to do one more go around with our champagne sparkle wrap. Okay, now we're going to start our next wrap. Okay, so for the third wrap, this is going to be the crimson mix and texture because we're going to add some of these large beads with some small beads. Okay, so I'm going to take 3 of my smallest gold seed beads and put those on. And then I'm going to add 2 of the raspberry silver cut crystals. So I'm adding 3 of the smallest gold seed beads, 2 of the red cut crystals, and then we're going to add 1 seed bead, and then we're going to add 1 oval. Let's see how this looks. Okay. Then we'll add 1 more gold. And 1 more gold. And then we'll add 3 of our table cut glass beads. And then we're going to repeat. Let's see how this looks first. Yes, I think that will be nice. Actually, let me take one of these off. I'm just going to have 2. Yeah, so it'll be like that. So 3 of the smallest gold seed beads, 2 of the crystals, 1 small seed bead, 1 barrel bead, 1 crystal, 2 of the check glass cut beads. And that's going to be the pattern for this wrap. So pretty. Okay, it's almost perfect. We need to add just a little bit more. I'm going to go ahead and add the seed beads, and then we'll see. So see, we have our 3 wraps now. Looking so gorgeous. Okay, so we'll end here. with that, and then we'll start with our fourth wrap. Okay, now we're going to do the fourth wrap. This is the Pearl Gala finale. So yes, we are going to add the pearls, and I really think pearls elevate a piece. I mean, pearls are just timeless and stunning. So that's what we're going to end with. I think they will look beautiful mixed with the golds and a little bit of the reds. So I'm going to put 3 of my pearls. Let's see, we ended with some of the small gold. So we'll put 3 of the pearls. Oops, and these pearls are stuck together. And okay, that works. So we'll put 3 of the pearls, and I dropped one on the floor. Yes, that's stunning already. And I'm going to use one of my larger gold spacers. And then I'm going to add maybe just one of the red crimson bicone. Let's see how this looks and see if we need to add more or leave it. I mean, I mainly want the pearls to stand out in this round. Yeah, so I think just one. I think one will be fine. So we're going to repeat this pattern. So we have 3 pearls, 1 medium gold, and the 1 crimson bicone. Yes, gorgeous. Gorgeous. Oh, wait, we did something wrong, didn't we? Did we do something wrong? Wait, hold on, we did. We did here. Yes, because we didn't use a gold. All right, let's take this off. I'm actually going to, I'm going to surround the red one with the pearls, or gold. So I actually need to take off these and put a gold right there. But it's okay. The show must go on. I'm going to show you how easy it is to fix this, though, if that happens. I mean, yes, it could be a pain in the butt, obviously, but it's nothing that cannot be fixed. And you want to do it, as soon as possible before you get too far ahead. And then notice something is wrong and have to take off a lot more. Then that would definitely become a hassle. Come back here. Okay, so we said, come back here. Get back here. Miss Pearl, get back here. Get back here. Okay. Oh boy. Miss Pearl. Okay, so now we're going to take a gold, and there that one goes, huh? Okay. Okay, so 3 pearls, gold, crimson, gold, 3 pearls. So now we do the 3 pearls. Three pearls, gold, crimson, gold, 3 pearls. Whew. Okay, so now we have the 3 pearls gold. Now we need the crimson. Gold. Pearls. And then where did we start? So we need to go to about here, because it starts here. So yeah, so we need to go to about here. So we have another, probably about 2 rounds to go. And that should be enough. No, we already have that. Okay, I am going to continue one more time at least, just to make sure that it's going to start and end in the right spot. That's why I wanted to keep the memory wire, why I wanted so many coils, like I said, because sometimes I do it and then it doesn't line up. So I figured it's just easier. Well, it wasn't easier because we had a lot more coils to work with. So you do have to remember that. But then it also is just easier because this way we can get it to line up to where we started. Where if we already cut it, then it would be too late. And like I said, it may not match up with the other end. Or it may not even be wide enough because my wrist is bigger. So it's going to take more of the coils to wrap around. We have 3, yes, 3. Okay, this might be it. Let's see. Okay, let me put this bead stopper on. Now, if you want to do the same, just take your bead stopper right to where your last bead is. And then put your bead stopper on right there. And then go ahead and wrap this around your arm. But just be careful not to release that bead stopper off here so your beads don't go flying. Ooh, super gorgeous, isn't it? Oh man, that is pretty. Okay, and I am going to go one more round with this last row because you see this is where, like I said, my arm is bigger, so this is where it starts. So I want it to end more over here. So I'm going to go at least one more round. Okay, and I'm going to go back to the pearls. Actually, yes, this will be perfect right here. You see, because this is where it starts. So then it'll end right here. So basically in the same position. So then we have 4 full wraps. Yes, perfect. Ooh. Okay, so now when you cut this, again, we're going to use memory wire cutters. And then you want to make sure that you cut so that you have enough to wrap. So about an inch. Oh, that's too much. Yeah, we don't need that much. Cut a little bit more. Because, I mean, your loop is not going to be that long. Okay, so maybe about a half an inch. Okay, so now you're going to take your round nose pliers and do the same thing as we did to start. So put your wire on there flush, about in the same spot that you did it in the first wrap, and take your thumb and just press it down as you go, and then just continue until you form that loop. This is so gorgeous. So gorgeous. So luxe, isn't it? Wow. That's because these beads just make it super pretty. And now I still have my check glass strand to do something with that. And then also, oh, the golden marble beads, I still have those to do. And then still plenty. I mean, plenty of stuff left here. Plenty of beads to still create several projects. I mean, still a lot of these left. And then I am going to use some of these to dangle off our ends here. Sorry for all the ruckus. Okay, let me look at this end. And then you could just kind of fix it a little bit. Make sure that it's tight so that your beads don't go anywhere. Make sure there's no sharp edges. Super pretty. Okay, let me get this out of the way and then we'll go ahead and make some charms. Okay, so I was going to wire wrap the little teardrop briolette. I was going to put one on each side, but I don't have the right kind of gold wire to do that. See, I did try it and then it did start crushing the beads. So I'm not going to do any more because I don't want to break them. Yeah, because the wire I have is too thick. So I'm going to keep that. And then we'll just use a couple of our beads and just create a small little dainty dangle. So I'm just going to take some gold head pins. And let's see what we want. How about if we use one pearl and one crimson? If this will fit. It fit on the memory wire. It should fit on here. Let me try a different one. Yes. And you can cut this down. Well, actually, you want to made a charm before. Come on. Okay, so take your round nose pliers just right to the top of that last bead, and then bend this back at a 90-degree angle. So it looks like this. Let's see, flush cutters. Here we go. And then go ahead and cut this down, leaving about 1/4 of an inch. And this is probably, yeah, that's too much. Cut it down a little bit more. And then you want to take your round nose pliers, flush to the edge. And then loop it back around. Actually, that looks good, but we have too much space here, so I'm going to redo it. Yeah, we'll do that. So one pearl, crimson, pearl. Round nose pliers. Right up against this bead. Bend this down. 90-degree angle. Go ahead and cut this down. And then take your round nose pliers, right at the edge where we just cut, and then loop it back. Yes, and then just kind of form it into shape. Okay, so that's all you need to do. Okay, and then go ahead and take your flat nose pliers and just bend this up slightly. And that's how we're going to put it onto our little loop here. Where is it at? Here we go. So just like that. And then take your pliers and bend it back into place. And that made it funky. Hold on. So we have one little dainty dangle. And we'll do the same thing to the other side. Just to add that little bit of more glam factor, as if this is not, you know, glam enough. Okay, guys, well, here is our beautiful, luxurious Champagne Gala 4-stack memory wire bracelet. Isn't it super gorgeous? I mean, gorgeous from every single angle. So beautiful and sparkly and gala ready. Perfect. And you guys let me know what you think. And please remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe to my channel for more beading fun. I hope you all have a wonderful day and a wonderful week. And I will see you guys in the next one. Thank you. Bye-bye.